dedication, and through hard work of our mentorship program and from our graduates, that is where we were able to make it. And this would not have happened without our very good mentor, who has been the leading role and helping us to achieve what we want to achieve today. And wherever you are, Mr. Alhaji Drammehz, I want you to rise up so that we can give Thank you. I'm seeing all of you ladies and gentlemen present here today, looking very beautiful and also very proud of yourself for the dedication and making it up to the graduation today alongside with our parents and everyone else. Can you kindly rise up so that we...
I guess we've been having a lot of standing ovations today. Good morning once again. It's my pleasure honor to welcome you all to our maiden graduation of Drammehz Mentorship Academy. To begin with, I wish to extend my sincere gratitude for every individual present in this hall today, be it the father, the mother, the sister, the brother, or the family friend. Most significantly, our heartfelt gratitude and appreciation goes to our guest speakers. We have Baye Malawada, Vice President of Africa Institute for Leadership. We have Mohamed Nami Diba, Speaker on behalf of Dr. Ismail Sisi. We have the Research Officer, National Assembly, and a consultant for job consultant. We have John Bass, Finance and Admin Manager, Gambian Limited. We have Marisa Mr. Silver, proprietors of Silver Bits Design. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please rise for our guest speakers as a sign of appreciation for their again our mentees for the discipline and cooperation they have shown throughout this training. Finally, the mentees, can we please rise? That's why I said today we are going to have a lot of standing ovation. Can we rise again, please? Aren't you glad that we are here today to watch the work that you have done for the past 6 months? Yeah. That's why I said it's time for our friends. We are here to get Thank you. Thank you. Shall we sit down? Yeah, you can sit down. Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership Academy is a non-profit organization that aims at producing productive youth and inculcates good ethical leadership in the minds of young people and Africa at large. As our motto reads, we support, motivate, and inspire. How do we support? How do we motivate? How do we inspire? We support our mentees through offering various skills training, motivate through empowering our mentees on social and academic ventures, inspire through ethical leadership, volunteerism, and civic responsibility. Drammehz Mentorship, since its inception in 2018, has been very proactive in supporting and empowering young people to realize their full potentials through education and skills training, mentorship, and counseling. Today, the Academy will graduate 2 cohorts, which collectively consist of 83 mentees. Our mentees have undergone through an intensive 6 months training under the following modules. We have personal development, we have career development, we have ethical leadership, we have entrepreneurship, skills training, and civic responsibility. However, some of the mentees have started establishing small-scale businesses. Others are mentoring school-going children courtesy of the academic impact. The academy deems it necessary to graduate the first and second cohort of mentees to show their work to the public and the aforementioned trainings and much more related responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, you see these people in this unique outfit. These are the people with dreams, and their dreams are the reality we need to see, understand, and support. Because these individuals here have vision so unique to themselves that with their effort, and contribution, our country will fall under the path of progression, innovation, peace, and love. On that note, I welcome you all once again to this graduation. Do enjoy our consequences.
Thank you so much, Anya, for that wonderful speech. As we have had it all, she made mention about the very things that we do at the academy, the training, the skill training, and entrepreneurship, all the stuff that we do that you people don't know about, especially to our guests. And now, without wasting my time, we will go with a brief introduction about the academy, which is going to be done by Alhaji Drammehz, who is the leading mentor of the program. But before going forward, I would like to give a very brief biography about him. Well, he is currently the founder of the Drammehz Leadership and Mentorship Program, the Youth Lead Mentorship and Leadership Program ambition to create a better Africa through creative youth and development. He served as a project coordinator at Creative Mind Association in Gambia, CMAG, Assistant Information and Public Relations Officer for Animal Welfare Association in Gambia, Assistant Project Coordinator, Gulf Africa Institute for Leadership, and former President and seasonal writer at the Gambian College Press Union. Currently, he is actively in the Youth Mentorship and Development Program as a leadership consultant for the organization. I think this is a great achievement to have a mentor.
Good morning. First, I must sincerely appreciate your comment. Most particularly, as a guest, I say a warm good morning to all of you. I must acknowledge the presence of the Vice President of the Gam Africa Institute for Leadership, by my water, the proprietors of Silver Beads, the Gambia, as Maris Sebastian Silva did, and of course the representative from Dr. Ismail Assise, which is my honorable friend Moblamin, and of course our very humble philanthropist, and of course one of the leading patriots in the Gambia, John Vaz, who is also the admin and finance manager at Gambian Limited. And of course to my beautiful guests sitting out there, I respectfully want to observe the presence of the CEO of ML Tech, and who is already also in the presence. So you're welcome. I also want to recognize the presence of various youth activists in the Gambia here. I cannot mention all the names. And of course, I want to recognize the presence of all the media houses that are here present, both print and media. And of course, finally, I want to say a big congratulations and welcome once again to our very own mentees and graduates who are sitting right in front of me here. I said a warm good morning to all of you. Mentoring is to support and encourage people to manage their own learning in order that they maximize their potentials, develop their skills, improve performances, and become the person they want to be. And this definition was given by Ellis Passold, the Oxford School of Coaching and Mentoring. This academy will focus on developing the country's human capital and play positive role in ensuring that the country's youth are equipped with skills, knowledge, and attitude that prepare them to become productive citizens. On the other hand, failing to prepare future generations of citizens as workers, business people, community leaders, and parents can have serious impact in society. Non-meeting youth expectation to secure gainful employment or participate in political decision making rose the risk of fostering social discontent. Societies today have to tap enormous potentials of young people in contributing positively in efforts of poverty reduction and socio-economic growth, by harnessing youth's interconnectivity, dynamism, and idealism. Development efforts are not only effective, but also more sustainable if youths have sense of ownership to their society's future. Moreover, for youths to participate fully in society, now and especially in the future, their values and skills must align with the visions of the society that is culturally sensitive, politically inclusive, and environmentally caring. For these reasons, Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership Academy deem it necessary to establish a mentorship and a leadership program that will help and harness the skills and the talents of young people to realize their dreams. The Mentorship and Leadership Academy will thus serve as one of the catalysts for the effective engagement of young people in steering the course and the development trajectory of the Gambia. The problem of Africa is not lack of resources, but lack of confidence and a good mindset. With all our complaints, there are goals, diamonds, oils, and we continue to discover, and we will continue to discover even heaven on earth, but that will not change anything. Unless and until we have confidence and the right mindset. The solution is not natural resources you discover, but rather confidence and positive mindsets. Even you have nothing in your learn and you have something in your head, you can eat something on that particular level. There are nations that no raw material, but they have created stuff simply because they use their brain and confidence. Today, if you listen to our national conversations, you will wonder if you are serious. We eat and drink and argue politics. You can remove politics in our radio talk shows. You have nothing to talk about again. We cannot think beyond politics. We can think about ideas. We can think about solutions. And we drive ourselves into the abyss of hopelessness. Many of you will be aspiring for various leaderships as part of one of our thematics that we've been training on. But the question is, what is the purpose of your leadership? Because in Africa, the shortest way of getting rich sometimes is fundamentally based on joining the political leadership. And that is why our leadership does not attract our best men and women, and our electorate keep responding to money and other but bribes to vote. If such goals continue to exist, we will never progress as a nation. Many of our youth die in the perilous journey to Europe simply because they have no hope in their country. Young people have nothing to be aspired to. They can't think when to have a house of their own. They can't think when to marry. They can't think when to have a decent job and good wages. There is discomfort everywhere and nobody cares for one another. Consequently, love faded away, relationship broken, and poverty becomes crystal in our society. And no one is ready to help someone else. So this academy is to help someone else, someone successful, and someone responsible. We want to build a community of change makers, today and in the future. Whether we like it or not, what you build and what you create define who you are. If you build an ignorant society, you can run away from the responsibility of ignorance. Our problems in technology, politics, and economics, wherever all human problems from the Garden of Eden to today, it is our humanity that gets us into this mess. And it's our only humanity that is going to let us go. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Here will be my final message to you, my honorable graduates. Your mentors may leave you prepared, but they can leave you ready. Find the hope in the unexpected. find the courage in the challenge, finding a vision on the solitary road. There are too many people who want credit without responsibility. Many people who want good life without working for it. Don't be part of those categories of people. Be different. Live something worthy. And always remember, you can't take it with you. You're going to have to pass it on. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the class of 2019 graduates. Thank you.
With our first speaker. But before telling you his name, I want to give you a little highlight about who this person is. Well, this man has been a household name in the Gambia as a top-class athlete, representing the Gambia in 5 different international sports, and he's the first Gambian to receive a trophy in an international football tournament. And I think that is a plus. Otherwise, apart from the athletic zone, he did not only stop being an athlete like any other athlete, but he also is here today because we can see he's empowering the youth. And for that, he managed multiple businesses, and I'm glad to tell you that involved hiring about 500 employees, which really avail to his executive experience. These are such great men to have on the high table today.
Of you, and special greetings to the graduates. Excited to be here, but I'm sure you guys are more excited than I am in being here, and I think you guys did a good job. I think I interacted with some of you a couple of times or a few times before. But before I go ahead with anything, I just want to say a special thank you to Mr. Drammehz and the Drammehz Leadership Institute for Academy for the good work that they're doing, because I think what we see here is a manifestation of the good work that they're doing. We are also trying to do similar. So I feel part of you guys. I feel part of the Drammehz Institute because we are all trying to create opportunities. That's what this is all about. But with opportunities comes also responsibility. And that responsibility, we are hoping you people are ready to take it because you have shown leadership qualities. And leaders have to take responsibility. That's what leading is all about. It's about taking responsibility and getting people from one level to another level. And as Mr. Drammehz mentioned, the key thing there is your mindset. It's your mind. You own that. That's the most important thing of what you have, your mind. Because you determine whether you can or you cannot. And both, you are right. If you say you cannot, you are right. If you say you can, you are right. But either way you go, it's up to you. You are the one that controls that. So it is up to you to decide where you want to go to, what you want to get, what you want to have. And invariably, I was just chatting with Ms. Silva or Mrs. Silva there, and I said to her, for example, if I wanted to go to Serekunda now, I said, okay, I'm going to work, I'm going to take the Majai Road, I'm going to go through Majai Junction, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I leave here, I'm going, I got to Majai Junction, and I say, no, Serekunda is too far. Maybe I should go to Sukuta. I turn. And then I go all the way to the Senegambe Junction, and I say, Sukuta is hot. Okay, let me go to Bijilo. So I am starting off, I said I want to go to Serekunda. But I take few steps going towards Serekunda, I change my mind. Few steps going to Sukuta, I change my mind. Few steps going to Bijilo, I change my mind. I will never get to any destination. So, and you decide that, you determine that. It is your mind, it is yours. And most of the time, we think because of influences and perceptions, we cannot do things or we cannot get things. But you can undo that. And the only way you can undo it is using your mind. If you use your mind to determine for you, and I also said to her, because we had a long conversation here waiting, I said to her, most people think they can fly. Or all people think they can fly. Who can fly here? And I think people can fly. But if you think you can fly, you won't fly. Okay, who can walk here? Why? Because of two things, experience and perception. And that is what I'm talking about, your mind. In your mind, you have perceived that you cannot fly. So everybody says then they cannot fly, then you won't fly. And believe me, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, nobody was flying in planes. If you talk about that, people are like, he must be crazy, he must be on drugs. Okay, there were no cars. 100 years ago, people were walking to Mecca. People were just, using horses and donkeys and things like that. There were no cars. Now everywhere you go, there are cars. Everybody has a car. Okay, even 100 years ago, people had only one clothing. Now people have wardrobes full of clothing. And nobody, at that time, they're like, what do I need 15 clothes? I just need something to put over my skin and cover myself a little bit. I don't need 15. Now everybody has like 20. People go to the farm, they change and all these things. Before you go to the farm, you have only one clothing. You might take it off after people hardly showered, even 100 years ago, because they didn't have easy access to water. So these are all things that we have to think about, and we open our minds. And as Drammehz said, we have been endowed, especially as Africans, with abundance. And it is even in the whole world. But what has happened is, as Africans, I think, whatever excuse we have, we are not opening our minds to getting what we want. We are sitting and waiting. And I say to people, what discourages me, especially for Africa, because I've lived in 4 African countries and visited about 30 of them. The biggest business in Africa now is second-hand goods from Europe and America. And we are not looking at how do we provide for ourselves what we want, but we are waiting for people to send us their leftovers and we scramble over that. If we have that mindset, we will never progress. And you people have an opportunity here, and you need to take the responsibility to take us to another level. People like me, I'm too old now to be that productive. I tried a little bit when I was younger. I wasn't given this or told about all these opportunities when I was your age. But I think if I was or had the opportunity that you people have, by having people mentor me, by having people telling me how I can progress, how I can learn faster, how I can grow, I would have been beyond here. Unfortunately, we all have our times, and I believe it is your time. You people are graduating now. Open your minds to great things. Open your minds that you can fly, or whatever you want to do. Believe that you can do it, and then you can do it. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't do it either. But we have a lot of hope in you people, you young people, and for me, that's why I've dedicated my time to helping young people to grow, to develop, and to be limitless, to be borderless. Okay? Because nobody told me this when I was doing it. If I was told this, I would have been beyond here, believe me. And even though I was not told by anybody, I had in my mind that I can be whoever I want to be. I can do whatever I want to do. She talked about me being an athlete and playing 5 international sports for Gambian. It wasn't something, a lot of people said, maybe it's crap. Never lucky, it's crap. I had to work, and I mean work hard. I trained morning, afternoon, night. I wanted to be better than everybody I competed against, but I had to work for it. And I worked and I attained it. It wasn't easy. And it is never easy. So you people have to know and believe that you can attain whatever you want, but it's not going to be on a silver platter. You have to work. And I had some notes here, but I decided not to really look at the notes or read from there. But I just want to insist with something I wrote here, that you have 4 basic dimensions that you need to align in the same direction to get to your destination. Okay? And these are, first, your physical body. Health is number 1. If you're not healthy, you cannot be productive. So you need to make sure you eat well, you sleep well, you drink well. Don't pollute your bodies. Don't mess your bodies up. Your health is the most important thing in your life. And I want you to appreciate that. Take care of your health. That's number 1. Number 2, your emotions. All right? Your emotions are basically your experiences and your influences. You need to align them in a positive way for you to be able to attain anything in this world. Your energy. We are all energy. That's what we are as human beings. And everything else in this world is energy. And it needs to be aligned in a positive way. And the 4th thing is what I have been talking about, your mind. If you can align these 4 to be positive, you will have a great life. You will have a great life, believe me, okay? And when you align these things, and it's like I said, going to Serikunda, if you are determined that she wants to, or she has a business doing beats on things, and I'm like, just West Africa is 300 million people. If you have 1% of that market, it's 3 million. If you can have a market of 3 million, you're a millionaire. Because even if you sell it for $1 each for each of your products, you make 3 million. And you can attain more than that. Gambia is less than that. But you have to think beyond yourself. You have to think beyond, you have to be limitless. You say, if I get 20,000, 10,000. No. You have to have a mind that is borderless and limitless. And I have restricted her to just West Africa, 300 million people. 1% is what, 3 million. If you have that, hey, you've made it. So whatever you want to do, think borderless, think limitless. Let that mind be expansive. And I think that has been part of our problem as Gambians. Because we are a small community, we have been having small minds. We have been thinking small. And when people even start thinking big and doing things, people tend to discourage them. Don't listen to anybody. If you are focused on what you are doing and you have aligned these dimensions in the same direction, positive direction, thinking of doing things well, you cannot fail. You cannot fail, and you can attain and get whatever you want. I'm not going to take too much time. I think I've maybe already taken up too much of your time. But I want to just say about perception, because what we tend to do is we tend to use our 5 senses for survival. And if you're only interested in survival, hey, that's good enough. The 5 senses you have. But you need to move beyond that. And when you move beyond that is when you get to these dimensions. But not just the dimensions, your mind, which is something internal that you control. Your senses you don't control. I see you because there is light. And you are reflecting in my people. That's how I can see you. If there is no light, it's likely I cannot see you. If this whole place was dark, I might not see you. So, that's something outside. If the air conditioning is not here or I'm not feeling it, I will not know. And that's an outside thing. But your mind is something inside. And it deals with a different dimension that you control. You might not control the outside, the light, and all these other factors, your senses, because you need them just for survival. So if you just want to survive, you cannot do, you can just live like that. Stay at home and do nothing. And I see people, 74 years, they've never worked in their life. And they're having a good life. I see them in the casino, I see them in clubs, I see them getting drunk, smoking, and things like that. And they don't work. And there's a lot of them around. They're surviving. If that's what you want, fine. If you want to be successful, you have to be a woman. You have to get up and get to where you want to get to. If you want to be successful, I'm talking about. And talking about success, I say to people, it's beyond the big car, it's beyond the big house, it's beyond the nice dress. It's more than that, and that gets you to consciousness. Consciousness being aware of you and beyond you. That's being awoken. Because if it's just me, you know, I'm fine, I'm okay. And that attitude needs to change. We all need to be awakened. We have a country that we need to build, and the country is not just you. You can have all the nice things and still not have electricity. Or you go out, you know, it's all potholes, your nice car, you cannot even drive it. Your big house, you cannot go in and out because it's all potholes and mud and all these things. Your nice dress, you come out in the rain, it's not nice anymore. So we have to think beyond ourselves. We have to be conscious in our success. So these are just few things I thought I share with you guys here today, and then I will hand over to some of these other speakers. But I would again want to congratulate you guys and just leave the message to you that we are depending on you guys. And that's a big responsibility I'm putting on to you guys. Congratulations.
My name is Marie Sebastian Silva. Like she said, I am the proprietress of Silver Beads. Silver Beads Design is a Gambian brand that uses beads and other African-inspired materials to create different handmade products. To start with, I was given the task to talk about the importance of skill. So I like to have a small flashback to my own story as to how I started to this point that I am in. Growing up, I lived with my parents and it's like an extended family. I had my uncles and my cousins around. So I had one of my cousins, her name was Anna. She was a specially gifted child. Those children who were always at the top in class. First position, second, no, just first position actually. So growing up, I was an average student, not below average, because for instance, in a class of 50, I might take the 12th position or the 10th position, something like that. So growing up, I had issues with my parents because they always compared me with Anna. They wanted me to be her in terms of my academic grades. For instance, in a term, first time I can take 15 positions, next time I can improve to 8, but I will still be discouraged. They will not even recognize or appreciate the efforts that I've made to go to the 8th position. That was because they wanted me to live her life. And it is my life, I have my own personality. So because of that, I went to a point that I felt I was very stupid, I could not do anything. When they constantly remind me that you're stupid, you're not doing well. So mostly you tend to be in that corner where you feel that there's nothing good you can do. And when I went to school, we had my classmates, we always do this drawing competition. I was very good in art. I could draw very well, so mostly I always take first position when it comes to drawing. So then at that point I became very embraced. I embraced the art. I felt that this is the only area that I am good at. Even though in school I was not dull, but at home I was looked at as the dullest child at home. So I embraced the art, and another problem emerged. Because at home, whenever my mom sees me drawing, she'll pick me up, insult me. At school, they would give work, I wouldn't even write, I was just concentrating on the drawing. And it was a problem with my teachers as well. So at the end, I felt that there was nothing I could do. Because the art that I decided to embrace was another issue as well. So I decided to try and be what my parents wanted me to be. Sometimes I know it's it's important to rebel against whatever I know they want the best for us, but you also have a calling. Everybody has a calling in this life. I believe that the art was my calling. So at that point, I had to stop what I was doing, and I had to just, for peace sake, to concentrate and do whatever they wanted me to do. So this was basically a drive behind my success. I am not very successful. As people will say, I always tell I'm not very successful. I'm still on the path of success. The journey still continues. So at that point, there was a time I finished my grade 12. I went to college to do my PTC. From there, and then I went back to teach. Went back again for my ATC. So that was the time that my passion manifested again. Because if you have a God-given talent, no matter how much you are discouraged, just believe in yourself and then you believe that this is my dream. I believe this is the force that will keep me reach my full potentials. You will surely make it. So I did that as well. When I went to my UPC during my first year, I discovered my talent. I started using beats. Before I even started using beats, I had the mindset that I believe that this is the time for me to contribute to my country, to give back to the country that has given a lot to me. So what am I going to do? So I had the first perception of using African print wax to create different handmade products. But then, like Mr. Wilder said, as we were chatting over there, always get information about whatever you want to do. So I made a market research as to using African print materials to create the products. I saw that a lot of Gambians are already in the business. Then I decided to do something outstanding, something different. I saw beaded materials coming from Kenya, Ghana, South Africa, being sold at very expensive prices. And yeah, Gambians will buy them because there is a need, but they are not available. So at whatever price they are being sold at, Gambians will buy. Then I saw the gap. I decided to bridge it by creating beaded products for Gambians. And right now, my mindset is changed. I don't just think about Gambia. I thought about the whole Africa and the whole world. And Mr. Wilder said, sometimes you don't have to think very far. Just West Africa. He's just giving me an example. Just West Africa will be fine. Then you can talk about the whole world. When I started in 2016, I didn't have confidence in myself when I started at first. But then I saw a lot of positive remarks from people who saw the good work that I was doing. I was doing at that time, and then they were really encouraging me. So I was very fortunate to attend 3 international trade fairs, and there was a time when it comes to skills, whatever you are doing, let excellence be your brand in all the work you are doing. Each and every product that you are making, let excellence be included. That was the time that I had the opportunity to travel to Morocco for the International Trade Fair. It was through a product that a Minister of State bought from me during the trade fair, and he bought it for the Vice President. When the woman, Madam Tamajan, the ex-Vice President, when she saw the product, she was like, is this really made in the Gambia? The minister said, yes, it was made by a Gambian entrepreneur. She's at the trade fair. So she told him, please go get her details. We have events, or we have opportunities for young entrepreneurs, and these are the kind of people that we really need to support. That was how my details were taken, and then I was fortunate to be among the other 3 entrepreneurs to leave the Gambia to go for an international exhibition. So it was only through skills, through believing in yourself. Because my parents were forcing me to just be on the academic line. And I had all these opportunities through my skills, not through the academic line. Do you see the difference? If you have a God-given talent, if you believe you can do certain things, you are limitless. Nobody can stop you. All you need to do is to believe in yourself and be consistent in whatever you do. Things don't happen overnight. You need to make emotional and personal investment to make your dreams come true. to always absorb knowledge, acquire knowledge, the knowledge that you just gained through your 6 months training. Sometimes we think about how much money we are being paid. The first thing you need, that is key, is to get the knowledge and the skills. If you get them, then you are a master of whatever you are doing. Then the money will come. I hope that makes a point. My next point to you is to use your life in service. Your life should be a message. Whatever you are doing, your life should be reflected on whatever you are doing, you are giving back to your community. Martin Luther King said, not everyone can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. Give your time to your country, to your world. The world needs you. Oprah Winfrey said, service and its significance. The significance you bring to your service is what will remain, not being famous. How many famous people have we known before? Their names have faded through time. People like Nelson Mandela. Their service and their dedication to their country, to the world, will remain for time eternal. So I tell you all, ladies and gentlemen, to please live your lives in service to this world. All of you seated here have the chance for enormous success, but there is a price you pay. Not everybody will like you. Not everybody will like you. But that should not stop you. Always surround yourselves with people who will make you grow, with positive people. Now you are at a different level with some people who have not undergone leadership training. Surround yourselves amongst yourselves and with people who are high up there, then you see yourself succeeding. If you surround yourself with negative-minded people, you will never grow. They will always tell you, these things, it's not possible. It will never work. So always surround yourself with positive-minded people. Believe in yourselves. Know who you are and what you want. If you can clearly articulate this, then even if the storms or challenges come, and they will come for sure, you will not be moved. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to this class. Keep grinding, keep impacting, and keep inspiring. Thank you.
From what she said, all comes back to what Mr. Drammehz mentioned, which is the power of the mind. Well, we have to change our mentality, that you may mention. Going up for her was not very easy, and we are sorry for that. Well, that is because of our mindset, because when someone is not good in this, doesn't mean you are not good in the other part. And the educational system too must be thoroughly checked through, because the way we are going through with the educational system, I personally don't think that is the way it should be. Because we have most of the people that are not very good in the academic field, but they are not shown to whatever they can do or showcase their talent. The opportunity is not there. 1 + 1 is 2. Everyone has to know 1 + 1 is 2. So if you are fast or you are slow, it doesn't matter. People are going on. And this is something that we are supposed to change.
Me to speak before Mr. Bai and Mr. because they have said everything I wanted to say. And of course, to Mr. Bass, I've been a fan for quite a long time. I wish I could engage you in a discussion, but I wish another time I'll see your office. I've been hearing much about you, and I'm glad that I see a platform with you today.
And you got a clap for Mr. Bass.
To members of the party, to the graduating class of Drammehz Mentorship Academy, to parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to speak on behalf of Dr. Ismail Assise, Senior Political Science Lecturer at the University of the Gambia. I'm extending his sincere gratitude and congratulations to the graduates And of course, his goodwill message to Mr. Alaji Drammehz for his foresight in instituting this academy. Well, his task that I'm going to perform is simple, that is, and also very, very easy. That is the role of young people in sustainable national development. These have already been defined by the leadership and of course the vision that was executed, or that is executed by Alaji Drammehz by forming such a very powerful and instrumental institution that interrogates the minds of young people to be productive assets in nation building. I think this is one of the greatest roles a young person could have played in national development. And I think he deserves a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, young people are not future leaders, but vital stakeholders in national development. We have the capacity to make a transformational change. And I'll give you an analogy. In December 2016, when we went to the polls, that young people were in the forefront to make sure that there was a political turnover for the first time in the annals of our republic. When Drammehz defied odds, that he defied elections results, it was young people that amalgamated a union, called themselves Young Citizens for Development, organized a conference and defied dictatorship. And this was one of the key roles they played in making sure that we ushered into a democracy. This was possible in the Gambia, and young people have done it. Another issue I want to challenge young people about. We have the constitution, the draft constitution that is published by the CRC. And young people have a role to play how? By reading this constitution, understanding, and give your recommendations so that we will have laws in our country that will safeguard us, that will protect us, so that we will live a dignified and a worthy life. The national budget estimate is also published for public scrutiny. And this budget will determine our life for the next 365 days. And your role as young people is to read and understand this budget so that you will scrutinize and interrogate the lawmakers to be able to approve the budget so that we will be able to live a dignified and a worthy life. Now the wind of politics is blowing in this country. Politicians are coming from left, right, and center. And the basic role you could play is to read and understand their party manifestos and their policies, where you should in, to understand whether these documents are in for national interest, whether these documents are for young people of this country. And that way you'll be able to make appropriate decisions to enhance glory in this country. I'll give you another analogy. In 1929, there was a young man in the Gambia who started one of the most powerful movements, that is to fight for young people of this country and to fight for people to live in a dignified life. And this guy was called Edward Francis Wall. He advocated for what? So that young people could be paid on the value of their labor, citizens could be paid on the value of their labor. He staged one of the biggest protests in West Africa, and with a slogan, no taxation without representation. In 1965, a 41-year-old young man was chosen to serve as the flag bearer towards Gambia's attainment of independence in 1965, until in 1970 when we transformed into a republic and have our own government. Let me take you to Egypt. Egypt was in 25 years century of dictatorship, when King Farouk was in power, very arrogant and pompous. People of Egypt were not living in dignity. Nobody was allowed to speak your mind. But a 34-year-old young man called Gamal Abdel Nasser formed societies of free officers and removed dictatorship, transformed Egypt from a monarchy into a republic. That gave birth to the rise of the Egyptian movement. I take you back to Ghana in 1957. a young man called Kwame Nkrumah, at the time, from studies, living with Baranda boys, eat and drink cafes at the booths and ghettos, was very disgruntled and dissatisfied with the governance, with the structures of leadership, and with the poverty the people of Ghana were living in. He sacrificed his blood, his life, and his sweat against the imperialists and was in prison for 3 years until when elections were called on whilst he was in prison. Then the constitution was blind and he decided to contest whilst in prison, and he won the elections and he liberated Ghana, and Ghana became independent in 1957. So if these young people could do this at this time, in those days at their times, I see no reason why all of us could not make a difference in our own ways. Yesterday night, I closed from work. As I was heading to bed, I received a call from my coach, Dr. Ismail Assise, that I must, he said, must come here. And I was tired at the time, I have to go to bed. I went to bed, early in the morning I woke up to the court of Aisha, and I have to make it here. And whilst I was here, I received a text that I need to go back to Paradise Suite Hotel, where I'll be meeting delegates from the international idea. However, what is this insinuating? That we all have mentors and role models who guide us at our time. Like I have Dr. Ismail Assise, for instance, who guide me through my journey. And we have Barry, who guided us through our journey. And I have been following this gentleman on social media, guiding us through. And Barry will tell you during their time they do not even have social media to look up to people. So we have an opportunity to make a change. And we could only make this change if we could only make this change if we are able to change our mindset. Pain is favoritism, but interest is what matters, and comfort is what everyone needs. In conclusion, the Gambian boss sociologist said, without knowing who you are, you will not know what you own. And if you don't know what you own, somebody will appropriately take what belongs to you and live in heaven, whilst you vegetate in a state of abject poverty and neglect of the earth. In conclusion, the Algeria state that the government is us, not an alien power over us. The ultimate rulers of our democracy are not the president, not the parliamentarians, but we, the young people, we, the voters. So we can make a transformation and change. If we make it possible in 2016, we can make it possible in 2021, 2026, and 2025. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here, and I want to say thank you to the organizers of this program. But I'm the least happy because I'm not seeing anyone on the high table, and I was expecting that they will be here while I recite my point. But anyway, it's important that you are all here. My poem title is The Shadow of Africa, and it reads: million steps I took in meditation. Freely I walked the land, soldiers shot guns in war. Yet my tip glitters like gold when independence and happiness takes the lead. Innocent lives died in pain while Africa narrates fox and folktale for she believes in nature. So when the African woman whispered, my pinna vibrates, the waves penetrate and I appreciate. See, the 7th century marks the togetherness, the happiest, the endless smiles put on Africa. Moments of struggle. A period when distance denies accurate information, yet discipline and humanity remains our formal education. Moments when shadows indicate time, drums communicate, fire flames translate, dresses cultivate, and our minds are sent to rate the strength of unity. See, these were days. Days when Nani Baba will sit in a cage and say Talin, Talin, Talin Dima. Days when the moon will shine so bright and we will appear together. Play with no fear, saying Kitong, Kitongla, Doli Wo, Doli Bejelela, Katum Africa la Dawanyam. Days when hide and seek used to be the order of the day. Days when happiness used to run through our tickets veins. See, these days were affectionate, so I evaluate and gave it a name, the lovely episode. But today Africa has been dilapidated. We've been created into different creatures. And if I have the chance to communicate to my ancestors, I will tell them that the dignity we had has been terrorized, our culture been westernized, so we're not even recognized as one. It's high time we wake up. Africa is known for serving and caring. Why can't we remain the same? It's high time we drop the gun, stop the fight, breathe so high, let the light shine so bright, and we will smile. We will unite. And fehe you settle in your holy bandi tongo, fehe di longko na nyumunaneka bena. Gipeten se pumena solo manjikabo futika fu. Giwumul se sigra solo munukana dakon si Africa ulitu inya uli akon papoli akon, so we don't need to fight. So we need a new Africa. A continent of great nation with new innovations combined. A continent of Badia, Sanoya, Winning Kafunyoya, Nkafutanyoya, Kanyoyaya, Kabalafa, Tamminde for Kairos is Sabbath. A continent where tribes will die, hearts will grow, and we will unite, and we will rejoice. Thank you very much.
They do not give us differentiations of what election is, and I shall tell them what the education system is all about. Where the health sector is not helping every Gambian nation. If the nations of our mind and our systems are broken down, and every family is assigned with a problem that we cannot solve. Our carries, our mentors, our teachers who now teach us that education is not the system of transformation. Education is science. That understanding is deeper than knowledge for all the people that lives us all. What happens to this beautiful world, in which our ancestors dwelt in without waging war against their opponents? That humanity becomes an obligatory, that our mind are set apart, that our cry continues to the promised land yet never visit our homeland, that our moon change directions like the modern day weapon that break down every soul in the war zone. What happens to the world of hatred, deceit, dishonesty and lies, and political leaders are just on sides of objects that treat inside. So when my minds are practiced in the bed, I want to be a boy. Thank you all.
First of all, before I begin sharing with you what I have this afternoon, I want to congratulate the CEO and founder of this great academy. And I want you to give him a round of applause. I think the Gambia, as a country, one thing that God gives us freely is the smiling face that we have. For the Gambia, in terms of the world leadership, is very sick. And we need academies like this to shape the young minds. The Gambia prides itself as a youthful country, and everywhere you go, everybody is a youth. Sometimes I even find it very difficult to understand the youth age in Gambia, because I see people of 65 years and they call themselves youth. Maybe somebody will help me someday. So, my message today is focused on us, the youths, because I'm also a youth now. And even Mr. Wale is a youth.
Of course.
Yeah? So, I'm not going to speak on a particular topic, because almost You know, they say great minds think alike. When I sat here listening to all the previous speakers, and even the message that I watched on that video, it's so inspirational that I thought I don't have any assignment to do now. Because how can I inspire you? You are already fired up. Well, distinguished personalities here present, the CEO and founder and members of the Drammehz Leadership and Mentorship Academy, graduates, young people. Today I am deeply honored and humbled by the privilege accorded to me to share with you a topic that is very much dear to my heart, sharing my success story. And I'm so, by the time you hear how I have gone through life, if you were not yet fired up, you will be fired up. You know, telling a story of oneself anchored from a humble background could be very difficult. Sometimes it can be even a little bit emotional, and it really calls for a strong motivation for one to speak from his heart. My life, unlike your life, is a project. You know, we came on earth, we came to a particular country, we came to a particular community to fulfill that which God has given us as gift to our parents. Because that which we become is our gift back to God. So therefore, we don't need to be bad people, because we need to give account to our Creator. So our life is a project. Everyone should see himself as fulfilling a project. What do we mean by a project? It should have a start and an end. And in all this time, what have you done for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your country, for Africa, and for the world? That assessment must be done by each and every one of us. Standing here today as your inspirational speaker, my story of personal growth to success was unlikely. My journey was improbable. My parents were never rich. They depended on farming to meet the obligation of my food and school bills. Growing up from a village where some kind of conditions were very difficult. You live with kerosene lamp as your light that you use to study. I needed not to be told that that journey of becoming someone is far. And I needed not to be told that that dream of success will be difficult. But despite all the hardship, despite all the frustrations and obstacles of life, I held firm to the belief that someday shall come. And my only inspiration was hope. I had hope and a renewed spirit every day. And each time I listened to myself, I heard God calling me among others, like you today. Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burden, and I will give you rest. Sometimes when we speak to ourselves, in our quiet moment, we hear this kind of message telling us, keep it up, it shall be well. Many a times, we often fail to listen to ourselves, but it's very important that we listen to ourselves. Because when we do, we could hear the Spirit talking to us. And that's why we have to listen to ourselves, especially in our quiet moment. This was what I did, and if with little hope, I couldn't have seen myself soon becoming what I have become today. Born in 1981 in Tujalan village, I began my primary school education in 1989. I completed my junior and senior education in the years 1998 and 2001. I proceeded to pursue my professional course in AAT, and I successfully completed that alongside the ACCA. And thereafter, I enrolled to study MBA with the University of South Wales, and successfully completed that in June 2019. And as we speak, I am a student of the University of London, pursuing my MSc in Professional Accounting. So sometimes my friends tell me I am made in the Gambia, because all that I have done is while sitting in the Gambia and doing it. Even though, thanks be to God, I am able to travel everywhere in the world. A young man like me, I think I have been to 27 countries all over the world. To God be the glory. So while en route to becoming a qualified accountant, I work for Gambian Limited, and after 17 years of hard work from different ranks within the company, I am today the head of finance and administration, responsible for the supervision of 4 departments. To God be the glory. It is often proclaimed to us that young people are expected to take full benefit of the golden opportunities to improve the direction of their lives towards the higher and the better. Several preachers or speakers will tell us to look inwardly and ask ourselves a question: what can I do and how do I get it done? And they will say to us to judge ourselves, and if found to be lacking in goals and purpose, or headed in a direction away from desirable ends, to re-evaluate ourselves for change in ideas and standards. As young people, recognize the fact that we are a gift from God to our parents, and what we become is our gift back to God. Our gift cannot be achieved in the absence of hope and self-determination for greater heights, knowing full well that we owe our society that which we came to fulfill on earth in acts and in morals. This may sound ordinary to any person, given the fact that young people and their role in society remains one of the hottest debates and frequently asked questions in the world. Problem of youth and their role in society is one that is heavily loaded with thought-provoking demands for anyone who cares. Even in our community, the Gambia, the most confused people are the youths. When Mr. Awara spoke, you could see him speaking from his heart, speaking off record, you know. Why? Because the older generation got everything in their head. They look prepared all the time. But the young people take their mobile out of them, they are lost. Some of us, when we forget our mobile at home and go to work, we have to come back and pick it because we cannot do anything. Youths, you will agree with me, are widely regarded as the most important segment of our society, owing to the fact that as able-bodied people, the future development of any given community or nation hinges on their shoulders. This traditionalist view on the role of youth in society is firmly anchored on their strength and naturally their usually healthy state of being. As young people, part of our role is to actively partake physically in the development of our society. This could be done in many ways, including but not limited to offering manual labor and the provision of much needed skill to accomplish and implement any particular project. Believe in yourself. Fellow young people, at the very heart of such a responsibility is the selfless and noble spirit of voluntarity. I think somebody spoke about this before. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow young people, I stand here today as a happy man as I tell you my personal story in such seriousness. For many years of my struggle to becoming a distinguished professional, and like many others here present, we would often eat ordinary bread and butter many times. I wonder how many of us can do that now. Go to bed hungry, yet you need to study for examination. This is part of the inspiration which behoves us to become God-fearing, to become tolerant, to be respectful, to be obedient, to be responsible society members. The demonstration of all of these admirable virtues is paramount to our stability as individuals or society and as a nation. As young people, good characteristics are key to our societal condition. And if you see the Gambia now, I think there are so many of these virtues that are mentioned which are lacking. Discipline, especially within young people. Discipline leads you to a lot of things. It makes you think before you talk. It makes you examine yourself before you go on internet and assassinate somebody's character, somebody you don't know about. Discipline will help you. The confusion around our society calls for serious sharpening of minds. Because now, like Mr. Wara was saying, most of us are privileged that we have people standing in front of us, or people who will come stand in front of us and share with us their stories. But in those days, they never got that. Yet still, the youth are more confused than ever before. So I think academics like this will really help sharp the minds of Gambians. You know, if you have a knife and it is very blunt, it cannot cut. You need to sharp that knife to be able to cut anything that you need. The Gambian needs sharpening of minds because we lack the word leadership. Institutions are failing. Institutions are failing not because they don't have resources or the only resource that we looked at, which is money. Institutions are failing because the people that are manning those institutions are very irresponsible most of the time. My fellow young people, it is my fervent belief that young people that have embraced God are bound to stay out of social vices such as drugs and anything evil by remaining focused, determined, disciplined, and work towards the achievement of their goals. By so doing, they can also serve as good role models for children growing up, most especially at a time when strong moral and social fabric that has once underpinned our society seems to be on the decline. Before, and like I started my speech, Gambia used to be the role model of any country you have in the world, for that matter, not just Africa. But this is diminishing. As we speak, we are confused into the future. What happens? We go to bed in fear, we wake up in fear. We don't know the next 5 years, or even the next 1 month, what's going to happen. Should we live like that as a country? No. It is pathetic. And it is only academics like this that will serve the minds of young people. For us to serve the minds of the elderly to change our society and live as responsible or as a responsible. We don't need to live in our country in our yard and go to bed in fear, do we, as a country? No. I must make it crystal clear that I am not in any way assuming that high moral ground above all else seated here, but rather sharing with you facts on the village, but the flesh is weak. Sometimes, even as young people, we have so many things to do, but we don't regard time. We always feel lazy. Like you have an exam in 1 month's time, and you want to do LMD. Anytime you want to wake up to study, you feel so many lazy. That is the temptation. That is the weakness of your flesh. But your spirit inside you is always telling you, I have this duty to do. But you are always waiting. You know, waiting for the next day, waiting for next month, and we keep on waiting. You know? I don't know waiting until when. Once you have established a path to follow, seek true friends, but must not let them think for you. Do your own thinking. Don't allow somebody to be thinking for you and telling you all that you need to do every day. A true friend really cares for your spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being, but not the one that brings obstacles. Most of the time, this is the problem we face. You know, we often sometimes, by chance, have good friends, but sometimes we have bad friends. And I don't know whether we can really tell who is a good friend and a bad friend. Because society, our country, the Gambia, is hard to trust now. We don't have good people. Good friends are rare to see. You will only know where they are bad friends when you have an issue to solve. Or you are successful and your own friend is the one in the internet castigating you. You know, it's only somebody who knows you very well that can destroy you, not an outsider. So we must be careful the people we mingle with. Let's examine them properly. Sometimes with their falsehood and false face, you know, we think they are good friends. But by the time we know it, it's too late. Let's take care of that. Who is your best friend? You know, they will tell us, tell me your friend and I will tell you who you are. So make sure that you have the right friend that thinks the same like you, that looks the same like you, that have the passion like you, that is disciplined like you. Because through your friend, I can tell who you are. You know, they say evil companions, they corrupt good morals. A true friend will care for your needs, will advise you. But in the wise books of Proverbs, we are told, when sinners entice us, not to consent. Sometimes we are misled, not by our own making, not by our own desire, not by our own wish, but we are misled by the so-called good friends that we have. Fellow young people, for every youthful country like the Gambia, or for a very youthful country like ours, it is imperative that youth strive for higher education and the acquisition of gainful skills such as leadership. So I can tell you for free, graduates, you are in the right academy. You are taking the right decision. Those are the two very important responsibilities for every youthful country, just as it is the responsibility for every parent to send your child to school. As young people, your responsibility is to take your studies or your work seriously and come to the realization that there is no shortcut to success. There is no support to society. A youth that is highly informed and serious will be well informed and primed to use his or her knowledge to great effect to prosper the social and economic advancement of our society. Furthermore, I have to state here that as a youth, when we are good, we can be assured of our parents' blessing. For in our holy books, it is said, honor thy parents, that your days may be prolonged in the land which I give you. Sometimes because of UTG, because of Gambian Connect, because of some institutions around the corner, we think we know more than our parents. And so therefore we are more educated, we are more aware because they have given us some lens and we can see afar. But I tell you for free, look, an elder sitting down, what he can see in miles away, even if you climb the tallest tree in this country, you will not be able to see that. So we need to listen to our parents. We still need them for wisdom and guidance. We need them. Look, I go everywhere and I tell them, our parents were good. Unfortunately, we, the young people, are the one bad. And in this country, we the young people are the one destroying our own country, not our elders. They used to love each other. They used to trust each other and go anywhere and eat each other's food. But now in our offices, even coffee, we no longer see it. Why? Because we don't trust each other. Why? Because we are not good. Because if you trust yourself, you will trust your friend. If you do not trust your friend, that means you have not trusted yourself. Furthermore, I have to state here that as youths, when we are good, and I have to emphasize this, when we are good, our numbers of years in our land will be prolonged. But when we are bad, our numbers of years in our land will not be prolonged. We either kill ourselves or destroy ourselves. Distinguished guests, my fellow youths, in conclusion, let me hasten to say that it is our responsibility to serve as agents of positive focus in society by going the extra mile to promote healthy dialogue and learning that will engender intellectual growth, intercultural exchange, peace and understanding with selfless and decent spirit of sacrifice. We must build peace, and in doing whatever, we must cherish peace. As we pledge our firm allegiance, our promise we renew. Keep us, great God of nation, to the Gambia and Batu.
Thank you, youths, sitting from the audience. There is one word that are repeatedly here from this speakers. That is youths.
When we came, Bye. Today I believe that we can really make it. Thank you to
My name is Fatou Bale. I would like to give you a few points. I am an African, a citizen of Africa, born in Africa. I dress like Africa, and I talk like Africa, and I breathe, walk like Africa. Once again, I would like to say thank you to my mentor, Drammehz, and our sister, who helped us to make this soup. This soup, we have made it the group, and who helped us to make it and train us is our sister. And I would like to tell her that thank you so much for being helping us to make this soup. This soup we have buy it, it's $50. As you all know, it is not expensive like that. We buy this for $50 and we buy the beans and the rice. After buying the soup, we put the beans there and the rice. We also make it as a different way. As you can see, we make this one, and this one is quite different with this one. This one also is quite different with this one. I would like to say that thank you so much, our sister. I have benefited a lot because I can help myself to make it and sell it, having money, and also help my colleagues. And I believe that when I go to my society, I can help a lot of people to help themselves, how to make it and sell it, to have some financial. And I will say thank you once again also. I will handle
Thank you very much for the explanation. I just want to elaborate on one of them, which is this one. You all can see it is a wax. So this is used creatively to make sure that we had a proportion. This was done mostly, then it used to be done by the Nigerians and other Ghanaians, Nigerians. But people like our helped us to make this shoe, and then it is now
let's give her a round of applause, please.
I'm going to talk about how this shoe helped me, though it is a very short period of time, but I have learned so much how to make this and how to make the wax too. I meet up every Saturday despite my busy schedules. I go to school and all of that, but they have already mentioned if you want to do something, you don't need to, you need to fix up schedules to make sure you do them rightly. So I fixed up my schedules and then attended trainings, and the mentor also was one of the people that sacrificed a lot, and she helped us a lot. I was able to make this too, and I'm able to make it. I'm able to make this too, and they are too. Now, when I put it on my status, many people demand. They said they want it. That is a way of employment. I'm being self-employed. Being self-employed in a way that I can help myself, I can make the shoe for myself and put it on without going. It is very good to empower one another and buy more. But if you can make it for yourself and then help others to make it for themselves, and then you make many others and then sell them out, it is also a very good thing. So we are very much grateful to Alhaji Drammehz and for sacrificing so much for the mentees of the Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership Academy in making sure that we're able to at least, not only in the academic side, but also in the be skillful and be innovative in whatever that we do. We cannot be more grateful than this, and we hope to share the little skills that we have. It is not little, by the way, but we hope to share the skills that we have learned so far with so many people out there so that we can have a better Gambia. Together we can do this. Thank you all.
Preferable cotton. We know we have different kind of fabric, but cotton is preferable. And secondly, also, you must have a chemical, and most chemicals, they include what? Caustic soda, they include hydrosulfate, and also salt. Okay? From there also you need your colors. Okay? The colors can be different, the colors can be red, the colors can be blue. As you can see here, we have blue here, we have yellow here. From there also you need your quantity of water. You need your quantity of water for this work to be successful, because without the water, the time there cannot take place. Okay? From there, when you get all these materials, first of all, as we know, this fabric, okay, if we import it from the market, okay, mostly it has a wax. Okay, it acts as a resistance for those colors to penetrate inside. Okay, what you do is that you have to take this fabric and soak it in the cold water so that you can able to remove the wax, so that at least when you take this chemical, you can able to penetrate, and also what you want, also you can able to achieve it. From there, you have to boil your water. Okay, you have to boil your water. If you estimate for 2 liters, meaning that the solutions here, like the colors will be what, 2 spoons. Okay. And also, the hydrosulfate also in a powdered form should be 2 spoons, and yeah, that is 2 liters, okay? And the caustic soda also should be 1 spoon. And also, if you can add there...
More specifically, our trainers, we have Baba, some of them, who came all the way from Region 6 to train our people on tie and dye and batik production. We also have our CC, who is very supportive when it comes to helping these young people to grab these skills. And it all happens within a short period of time. So whoever accused the youth of the Gambia that they are lazy, whoever accused the youth of the Gambia that they are lazy, I think I will champion to be the lawyer to take them to court. We are not lazy. We are not provided with the necessary tools. We are not given the motivation. We are not encouraged. Because if our youth are encouraged with skills, 1, they will develop better ideas. 2, they will be motivated. And 3, they would like to do what they are doing. But as long as we don't support our people, we don't motivate them, it is really going to be difficult. Just last year alone, 11,293 Gambian youths leave this country. And as I am speaking, the scale is increasing. There is a mass intellectual exodus in the Gambia. You go to certain sectors, you go to certain villages, you see no youth. Everybody is gone. And I have seen no ground that is being set to curb the situation. Perhaps, as I am speaking, some of you already have your plans of leaving. But then, we cannot all leave this country. Because every generation has a responsibility to fulfill or either to betray. So we need to help one another, support each other, and appreciate the work of one another. So on that one, I say thank you so much for the sacrifice to learn these skills. I now have the singular honor. When I initiated this academy in 2018, the first person that I approached to tell her my ideas was Drammehz Mentorshorship. She's very supportive, she's a strong lady, she's very passionate. When I met her and I introduced this idea to her, she bought it in and take it as her own. For over 1 year now, we have been in this process. We have millions of talents. But like I said in my speech, always try to rejuvenate your visions when life is restored on your way. It was not easy. For us to gather here today was not an easy part. It required a lot of energy, a lot of resources, a lot of planning. But we all part of it, and you all make this happen. Despite the fact that I founded these organizations, but it has gone beyond me. I remember the first people I approached was less than 5, but today we are talking of many supplementers. And as I am speaking to you, I have a set of badge who is already on standby, who are always willing to come and play. So this is not me. This organization does not belong to me. It belongs to Gambia. Most particularly you, our graduates, who is going to be our ambassadors tomorrow. If it fails, we all fail. If it progresses, we all progress. So I challenge you from today, you take ownership of this organization and make sure you continue impacting, and let's all come together and develop this country. So on that note, the academy also sits with their board. We have a board, and we decided to celebrate our executive members. Those who have sacrificed their time, their energy. I remember sometimes I would call Ajanos at 3 p.m. All these days, for over 2 weeks, we have not been sleeping. Looking at me, you know that I am not sleeping. But that's what I enjoy. I enjoy working for people. That's my passion. So Aja, as a woman, she was very strong in terms of paperwork. We have marathon everywhere in this country. We have went to every institution in this country to make sure that young people are empowered, to make sure that our dream comes true. So it was not easy. It was very, very difficult. But we believe you have achieved it. And then, now it is your time. Don't have these skills, go and keep them in your house. Share and empower each other. That's the only way out this country can progress. On that note, Aja knows debate. It is a singular honor and privilege, Mr. Wada. I will call you to present So I have the singular honor to invite you to present this to our great lady, who is no one else but Drammehz Mentorshorship, as a son of the king. And he is the executive. He is awarded as the best staff of the year at Drammehz Mentorshorship.
Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership Academy. Our training has passed through them, and I'm sure they have passed through the training too. So these young boys and girls that you see here, I want me to say, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, 2002, 2001. Okay. Anyway, I'm so glad for the fact that what Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership Academy has inculcated in me is a whole lot of things. But the most interesting thing to me is the chance that I have the opportunity to interact with these beautiful ladies and gentlemen sitting right here. They are all wonderful, they are all great. Their interaction with me, their interaction with everybody is great. So discipline and the cooperation they have shown throughout this training, you know, is heart-touching. So I'm saying thank you to each and every one of you, and I hope the training that you have went through, you know, benefits you here and anywhere that you go. And I believe it will benefit you because my former principal used to say, discipline is the first law in heaven. And anybody who has discipline in anything that you are doing, you are bound to succeed on this face of the earth. So thank you so very much for everything. I don't want to waste your time. You are hungry. I know some of you are not eating loud. I know, but I will start by calling by Mother Word to award some of the certificates to you. But first, I would like to give our guest speakers their certificates. First, we have audience design. Yeah, this is the present that's Joe's design for his meritorious service and participation during the 6-month youth mentorship and leadership program. So I call on, is Usman available here? Usman, can you please clap for Usman? Usman is another young talented youth, you know. He designed these certificates for us. You see how people do the certificates? See how this, I want to say so you see, thank you very much, Usman, for the design. So we love it.
He has taken up opportunities that were given and some not given to her, and how she has really taken those opportunities to very high levels. I have had more opportunities than my wife, but she has done better than I have done. And I am now challenging women of this country to get up and get us out of misery that we are in. I believe you are the best people to lead us now to the promised land. And I challenge you women. So I told him to shut up and let the lady answer. Because we have this tendency, as Africans mostly, that we the men are the all and all the all, when we have just been messing up this continent. So I challenge you ladies. So sorry for the interruption, but I just want to make that point. I'm telling you ladies some more.
You see, that is why back in the day they used to say, behind every great man there is a woman, right? Yes. Okay, another year from there said, besides every great man there is a woman. Now, 2019, 2020, in front of every great man there is a woman. Okay, I told Mr. Asuso, to come and listen to this certificate. Is Mr. Asuso around? Can you please clap for Asuso? And he is also one of our trainers for physical health. Clap for Mr. Asuso. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes, this certificate is presented to no other person, but Mr. John Bass, the Finance and Admin Manager for Gambian Limited. For his okay. We have another supportive mentor. We have Dr. Keba Dafe, but right now he's not available. But Maule is going to receive that on his behalf. So can we have Maule here? I like to talk to Maule. Thank you so very much. We have Abubakar Jallo. He's not here right now, but someone is here to receive he's the principal of Gambian College. So someone is here to receive this on his behalf. We have Usman Guest. Can you please receive this on behalf of Abubakar Jallo?
Fields of life. So I would like to invite Kuru Jawa. Kuru Jawa is a police officer who is also part of the Drammehz Mentorship and Leadership College. And he's here with the wife. So he's here with the wife. So the wife also is welcome on stage to present this certificate. I now invite Mr. John Bass to do this presentation. Where is the wife? If you don't come, we are not going to present this certificate. All right. I wish to become part a certificate in the presence of my wife. So, he's a police